You know, no matter how well prepared I am for a Slickers, it never goes the way I think it should go. I mean, I set it up, you know, we've got a certain curriculum that we use, and, you know, horses and trust exercises and teamwork and that type of thing. But since all these kids are so different, they have to be dealt with differently, and it always has a life of its own. The Kansas City Slickers that we did was completely different from St. Louis, which was completely different from Iowa, which is completely different from California, Tehachapi, completely different from Idaho. They're all different. And you know, that's really important to kind of acknowledge, because when you're dealing with people or you're dealing with kids, there is no set way to deal with them. You've got to think on your feet. You've got to improvise. There are times when a certain exercise was supposed to be done and somehow you pick up that something else should be done that would further them along more than the exercise that you have planned. So it's really thinking on your feet. So, you know, any of you that really want to get involved with the Slickers, that's a really important thing to remember, is you've got to think on your feet and you've got to deal with what's in front of you. Just like you did when you worked with a horse. You don't treat all horses the same way. They have all their own personalities. There's such a parallel between working with people and working with horses. And it's amazing what I learn as I'm working with a horse, and how I can say, well, geez, what if I did that with a child? Would that work differently? Would that make it better? Would I be able to get through to him more? Would that establish more trust? It's great work. It just really is. You know, I think one of the most important things I found out is in my life is how to manage my thoughts. I find for me that I do my best never to listen to a thought that makes me smaller or minimizes my potential. And I listen to the thoughts that empower me, that say that, geez, yeah, I need to go for this. Yeah, you're good at this. Keep working on it. As opposed to, yo, you're not any good. You're not this, you're not that. Those thoughts run us. You know, I mean, either we define who we are, or our thoughts in the world will define who we are. And I am not going to let the world decide who I am. I have to make a stand on who I am, and I have to do what I have to do because I feel that it's right. And not only that it's right, but that it makes me more powerful. And I mean that in the good sense, to share that power with other people. Because the better I am, and the more together I am, then the more I can help other people. I used to call this little, Elizabeth was her name. I used to call her Goofball. She'd love it when I called her Goofball. She was young, and she was pretty good at roping. So we had a couple of steers in this round pen, and it was her time to rope this steer. Well, she was just petrified. And Kenny Call was our roping instructor. He went over to her, and I went over to her, and we were just talking about it. He says, okay, it's all right. You know, we'll walk you up there, you know. And she says, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want. And we said, well, listen, we know you're afraid, but we are going to be here to protect you. We're not going to let you down. We're going to be right there with you. So we got closer to the steer and closer to the steer, and she kind of settled in a little bit, and I think that she actually roped one of the steers. And they were, you know, they were like 300 or 400 pounds, and she was like 70 pounds, so it's a scary thing. But how many times does fear come up in our lives, and it stops us from doing something? Making that phone call that you don't want to make, approaching that person that you want to say hi to, because, oh, what are they going to think of me? You know, so it's a real journey through fear, and getting kids through fear. You know, I've talked about it so much, it's like, God, maybe that sounds kind of boring. But you know, how would you act if you had no fear?
I love those Jingle bells. Oh, those holiday Jingle bells.
Hi, this is Michael McNeil, and we are eavesdropping on the Cowgirl Christmas in Cedar Falls, Iowa. We've got Cindy on the line. Cindy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You don't have to whisper. I don't know why I'm whispering. What's happening with the Christmas party there?
Well, we're having a great time with the girls. We started on time, believe it or not, but they have a little surprise for us too. They have just given us gifts. We've exchanged gifts. They're all opening their gifts. We've had some sugar-filled treats, a lot of cupcakes, candy, that kind of thing. And
of course you did.
We watched the DVD. I put together a DVD of all the pictures, or most of the pictures that I used or I took in Iowa. So they got done watching that, and
so what was their reaction to the DVD?
it was cool to watch them watch that, because it was like, oh, I remember that, or oh, I wish I'd have gone up one more rung on the ladder. It was really cool because you could see it brought back some great memories for them.
Oh my gosh! And you said they sang Christmas carols or something?
Yeah, there were 3 of them that were at our event in October, and they actually had put together a little performance for us. So they sang Christmas carols. It was cute.
Who's with you down there?
Well, I've got my kids, Morgan and Maddie, and my husband, Steve, and Abby, who owned the farm, and her husband and her parents. There's a couple of counselors here, and then we've got Audrey and Naja and Cynthia, I'm just looking to see, and Bree. And then there's some new faces. Alexis is here, too. Gabby is a new face.
Now, Alexis was the clay girl, right?
Yes. And she actually brought something that she made with the clay to show me.
Oh, my gosh. So
that was cool. And Miss Jessica, who I think you will remember, she's one of the counselors who rode the bull, and she was in purple. I'll never forget the look on her face. She looked you right in the eye, and she said, give me some. And you did.
I remember her.
Yeah, there's a picture of her on the website, and she's like way up, and she was laughing so hard because she hadn't seen any pictures.
Oh my gosh!
So it's good for her to see that. So we're having a great time.
Can I talk to one of the girls? Is Audrey you said was there?
Sure. Yeah, Audrey's here. I'll let you talk to her.
Okay, great.
Hello.
Hi, Audrey.
Hey.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
What do you think of this whole deal?
It's wonderful.
Cindy told me that you watched a DVD of a bunch of pictures. What was that like watching that again?
It was like just going back to, the actual day, and it was like an amazing day for all of us, and it really touched a lot of us to like pursue many different things. And that just like mainly gave me more hope to keep on going on with what I want to do.
Isn't that incredible? You were one of the people that really excelled at, I think, both riding and roping, right?
Yes.
Are you getting a chance to work with Doug Dahl, our roper, yet?
It's actually still being set up at the moment.
Okay. Oh, that's so great. Well, listen, I'm so glad that we were able to do this for you. Merry Christmas. Put Cindy back on. Maybe I can talk to one of the other girls.
Alrighty.
All right, honey. Bye-bye. Well, Cindy, it sounds like these girls are having probably one of the best times they've had in a long time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
There's
no doubt about it.
For the people that are not there, can you kind of, give us a good idea of what it's like being there with these kids?
It's hard to explain, but for me, it's better than any Christmas present I've ever received.
Oh, my gosh.
So, well, you can't explain something like this. There's so much joy, and, these kids have not had it easy. And the things that we take for granted are a big deal to them. They want pictures taken with us. I bet I've hugged Cynthia 20 times tonight. It's the things most of us take for granted that are so special to these kids, and makes me all emotional again. But it is. It's better than any Christmas present you could ever get.
Wow. Well, then I'm going to tell Steve to take back that Mercedes he got you.
Yeah, well, if he gave me that, I'd fall over from a heart attack anyway. So yeah,
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to let you guys go. Merry Christmas to the Cowgirl Christmas in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and
thank you for being so amazing and being in my life, and I will talk to you very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Bye.
Bye-bye.